Mr. President of the Assembly, Speaker Ahmed bin Salman Al Musallam, Mr. Secretary General, Your Excellencies, friends and colleagues. Firstly, on behalf of the Kingdom of Tonga, I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to our generous hosts, the Kingdom of Bahrain, for the wonderful reception our delegation has received since arrival in your beautiful country. Mr. President, the Legislative Assembly of Tonga attaches great importance to the IPU's mandate of empowering parliaments and parliamentarians to promote peace, democracy, and sustainable development. Tonga welcomes the call to confront and stamp out the roots of intolerance. If intolerance is ignored and tolerated, it would fester and threaten peaceful coexistence, not only within our countries and our borders, but would transcend borders and threaten the peaceful coexistence of our family of nations, as history reveals time and time again. Tonga remains committed to strengthening respect for individual human rights and peaceful coexistence, which is not only enshrined in our 1875 Constitution, but is deeply ingrained in the psyche of the Tongan man and woman. These core values being mutual respect, humility, mutual cooperation, and commitment to others. These form the fundamental pillars of Tongan society, and the Tongan Parliament has always endeavoured to create a legal framework that builds on these norms, supporting an environment that is tolerant of persecution and prejudice. Mr. President, during my tenure as Speaker, the Tongan Parliament's vision has been to build a more inclusive and resilient legislature that commits to passing national laws that safeguard and guarantee important rights fundamental to its citizens, including fundamental freedoms of expression, association and religion, the integration of minority ethnicities, and the protection of individuals against any manifestation of intolerance. The Tongan Parliament believes that through awareness and education, we could build societies where differences are not only tolerated, but they are respected and embraced. Speaking from one of the most vulnerable countries to external shocks, including climate change, more frequent and more severe climate change-induced natural disasters is a threat to peaceful coexistence, and we must collectively act and prepare with unprecedented action and cooperation. Without climate action, there is no future for our youth. Peaceful coexistence and the inclusive societies is equally under threat by state actors of aggression, terrorism, systemic inequality, and climate change inaction. Mr. President, we remain committed to the 146th General Assembly's call. We must continually foster and establish countries and societies void of racism, xenophobia, and other forms of discrimination and intolerance. This is inextricably linked to the democratic principles of free and fair elections, the rule of law, peaceful coexistence, transparency, and accountability. It requires ongoing shifts in attitudes and positive development of legal frameworks that promote peace and stability that would ultimately lead to economic prosperity and sustainable development. I mirror the statement made by the IPU President Pacheco. Whether we regulate social media or not, yes, the proliferation of fake news, hate speech, and misinformation with impunity directly undermines democracy. Due process and only promotes further intolerance. We must not allow this to continue. As a young parliamentarian, I also strongly believe in changing societal attitudes towards intolerance by mobilizing the youth to help create a genuine change of attitude towards intolerance. At this 146th IPU General Assembly, we are pleased to have traveled from the other side of the world, over 21 hours to get here, to join our fellow IPU state members in reaffirming the ongoing commitment to promoting peaceful coexistence and inclusive societies by fighting intolerance. On that note, Tonga hopes that the convening of this high-level conference around tolerance will be a springboard to generate political will and chart a course of action for the IPU and all our states for the years to come. We wish you all the success, Mr. President, at this 146th IPU Assembly. Malo apito, thank you.
Thank you very much.